here's my computer. It's a little dusty in here, but I'm not doing a video of cleaning my computer. I'm just doing a video of replacing the graphics card. So if you look, I have it water cooled. I'm just obviously using vinyl lines. I didn't spend, well, I had better lines before, but I just, you know, didn't want to spend so much money when I could buy vinyl tubing for, you know, 50 cents a foot versus what they were asking for theirs. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug all the cables so I can take the card out. You can definitely tell that this cooler is super beefy. This is the biggest graphics card I think I've ever had. Never seen anything this big since. So I don't even know if anything can compare. I mean, honestly, it's one of the selling points why I like the graphics card so much. Is when I originally bought it, I had to get a new case because it was so big it wouldn't fit in my old case. It was too long. Which was kind of a bummer, but, you know, upgrading to upgrade. This is one of the biggest problems with this card being so large, because you can't really push this. It's so big and pull that at the same time. And you can see the sagging is pretty heavy card. Before I install them, I just wanted to note the size difference. The 3080 is actually a little longer than the 1080, but beef-wise, I would say they're actually almost the same thickness. The 3080 might be a little more rounded. 1080 is a little more squared off, boxy shape. It's definitely heavier though, I'll tell you that. Also, I noticed the fan shroud on the 1080 is actually magnesium cast, or I guess it might be magnesium printed or something, but it's definitely metal of some sort. This one is plastic, so you know how it goes. Everything new is does not sag nearly as much though. It's a little difficult to do this with the camera, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Because I am flying blind here. For anyone wondering, this computer has a i9 9900K. It's running stock. This is a XSPC Raystorm cooler, which I bought when I was using it on a 2600K. I don't know how many years ago. It is still working today. It was probably 10 years ago when I bought the cooler. All I've had to do was... I've actually used the same bracket on everything from the 2600K up. So, I don't even know if Raystorm's still in business. Because I can't seem to find anything on them online. But computer definitely needs a little cleaning, but I don't care as long as it's not overheating. It's... computer case is so heavy to take it outside and clean it. I'm in an apartment right now, so I can't really just take it outside and use my compressed air or my air compressor and just blow it out. It's really a pain in the ass. So I just gonna leave it dirty. Honestly, I honestly don't care. It's not affecting my thermals at all. So yeah, and so now it's gonna be at the 3080, the Zotac 3080 Trinity. I have an i9 9900K stock with the custom water cooling loop. The reservoir is actually up in the top front of the computer, and then one terabyte, 2 terabyte, and then I have a NVMe SSD right there. I originally had a 128 gigabyte M.2 in there, and I had to upgrade because all I could have on it was basically an operating system and like one game. So I think that's a 512 Samsung Evo something, and then these are 16 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz memory each, so that's 32 gigabytes total. One thing to note on my computers is I absolutely hate RGB. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people like it. I don't like my computer brightening my entire room while I'm trying to watch a movie or play games or anything like that. I want it to be dark in there. So, alright, everything's on, plugged in. Let's see if it fires up. Oh, that's bright. I can probably adjust that, hopefully. Display is turning on. I had previously, the Zotac 1080 in here, but it's definitely the wrong resolution, so I might have to reinstall the drivers, but who knows. Here's what it looks like without the light, so you could see what I was doing in there. This is what it looks like normally. You know what's funny is, I don't think I ever noticed that this plastic cover is still on there. It's been on there for 7 years. Thought I would have caught that already, because I usually peel those off immediately, or I guess since it was in my computer, I just forgot about it. Well, whoever I sell it to is going to enjoy peeling that off. Here's something fun to note. My last card, when I did this, it would be crying and going to full throttle and be lagging when I did this. This is a Slice STL file for 3D printing. This is actually something I remixed, I guess you would call it, redesigned. It's a skimmer that I remade for a Fluval 404 intake. And it has to render every one of these layers. So it just creates a lot of data that it has to process in a 3D form. And if you look over here, it's basically, when you're not moving, it's fine. You start moving it, it just jumps it all the way up to maximum. So yeah, it seems to be running well. It's hitting, well, it was hitting 1995. There's 20-25 megahertz. But the temps are 42C. Actually, it shouldn't be under very much load with this, but I don't know, something about just loading so many details, it just really wrecks it sometimes. That background just changed. It's kind of cool. So I didn't even have to install any drivers. It's just automatically updated. It says I have 3080 in there. I mean, honestly, it uses the same drivers, but I am going to update them because the 1080 didn't have RTX in it, and the new drivers should support RTX for a lot of games that are out now, so I'm going to go ahead and update them. Now, I probably didn't mention, but the reason I upgraded is because my monitor is a 1440, 144 hertz monitor, and a lot of the games I'm playing, they were okay for the last couple of years, but it's getting to the point where I can't really play games at decent settings, especially newer games with any type of frames above 60, which, I mean, I may be, OCD about it, but if I'm playing at 60 frames, I might as well be playing on a console. So I don't like that, and I'm going to upgrade my hardware as long as I can afford it. because it is something that I enjoy and something that brings me a lot of fun and happiness.